Hi guys, it's Amy and you have found Amy Loves Crochet. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it when you click on my videos. Before I get into my finished projects that I'm going to share with you for this week, I do want to talk about my thumbnail my thumbnail yarn. This is yarn from Uneek. It's cotton, it's mercerized cotton, DK weight. Here's your goodies if you're looking for that. And look at the beautiful colors. This is yarn that I've had for some time. I bought it at Seven Sisters. It was one of my first purchases there. And I had two of these hanks, and they each are, 275 yards. So I've got not enough to really make a shirt, but I really wanted to make some sort of a shirt. And so I kept hanging on to it and kept looking for other yarns to put with it and just could not find anything. And I'm kind of tired of looking. You know, you get to a point where you're like, okay, let me just use it differently. So I did find a shawl pattern that I started to use it for, and I got to about like the 15th row or so. I mean, sometimes you know right away that a yarn and a pattern aren't working together. But for this yarn, it was really coming out very beautifully, and I was very happy with like the color changes and stuff. But the feel of the item, I wasn't loving it. I wasn't into it. I felt like you could see too much of tension changes and things like that. Like I wanted, there isn't the stretchiness to this that you find in like acrylics or superwash merinos so I decided to go ahead and put this to the side. So I've got my cake is hugely frogged back, wrapped around the sides. And this is my call to you. What do you use, 500 or so yards of mercerized cotton for? Like, I don't know what to do with this, and I really, really want to use it, and I don't know how to use it correctly. So give me your comments down below, please. And then another thing that, some of you might watch my wall here to see when I pull stuff down or when there's a yarn that's missing. The same project that I was working with the mercerized cotton, I decided to go ahead and cake this up. This is aquamarine from Leading Men Fiber Arts. Look how beautiful. I'll show you the bad end. And it's just like a white and aquamarine variegated, kind of just whooshes back and through. I'll hold that up for you. So sport weight, and so 328 yards. And I have two of these, and kind of the same thing. Like, I thought I might work on that same pattern. And then I reread the pattern and looked at the yarn, because of course I'm using a different yarn than what they suggested or what the pattern is made from. And it wanted a DK, and now this is sport. So I spent the time to cake these up, and then I'm not even going to use them. So I am happy with, whoops, the tape stuck to my finger. I pulled out the leading. I don't know if you guys do that, but when I'm caking up my yarns, I tape it to the yarn winder, and then I kind of have like a easy identification of which one the end is or where the end is. Anyway, so I'm using a different yarn for this same pattern. I'm happy that I finally found the marriage that's working right, and I'm kind of at the stage where I'm really, really, really happy with it. So thumbs up to don't give up, keep on trying. So yay. Okay, so then the finished projects that I have to share with you, I made one per the pattern, and then of course I changed it up and made another one that was different than the pattern. So the first one that I want to share with you is yarn that I purchased at the last Midwest Fiber Fest, or maybe the time before that, I don't remember exactly. But this wonderful yarn, I also bought some yarn that was made with Angora bunny yarn, or bunny hairs fibers, and I really enjoyed that. And so I'm kind of sad because this Carol Makes, she has no identification on here whatsoever. I can't send you to buy her yarn. It was just, she's just, it almost sounds suspicious. She's in an unmarked van at the side of the road. No, I'm just kidding. She was right outside the front door, so obviously she was part of it. Look at what a great deal I got. A skein of fingering weight for $15, and it's gorgeous. This is what I have left, this tiny little ball of beautiful cream and yellow and greens. And I used a 4mm hook. And the pattern is from Annie Design Crochet. She does a lot of one skein wonders that I have recreated or remade or made or whatever. I like Any Design Crochet because I know that if I just need to start working on something, you know, like this. This takes a lot of thought and research, and then I still come up empty. So I'm like, I just need to have a go-to. So Any Design Crochet with her one skein shawls is one of my go-tos. And so again, with the Midwest Fiber Fest coming up next weekend, I really wanted to use one of the yarns of the people there so I could take it back and show. So I don't know if she's going to be there or not. I have no way. I'm not going to say that. There might be a way to research vendors that are going to be there, but I haven't looked that closely into it. So anyway, so this pattern is called the Red Clover Shawlette. And it's always funny to me when a pattern is maybe named for the color of yarn that it was made with initially, because now you can see this is not red clover. And so it just kind of feels funny. But so again, this is 85% merino, a superwash merino, and 15% nylon in this gorgeous colorway. Look how pretty it turned out. I felt like I was a Green Bay Packers fan for a moment, you know, with all the green and the yellow together. So it's one of these asymmetrics that has what I always call like a step up or a step down or whatever. When you're working across the row, you just leave some stitches unworked. So, you know, as you're coming across that row, you just leave this one unworked and start over and then go this way. So the other thing about Any Design Crochet is that I follow written patterns that she's got like on a blog page. These are free patterns that if you can read through it, some of them she's got Etsy or Ravelry patterns, you know, that you can purchase PDFs. And some of them there are videos for, tutorial videos. But I just really was enjoying working on this one. It's kind of, again, one of those go-tos that you just need like satisfaction. You need to take this thing and make it into this thing, and I did it. So it worked up rather quickly. And the last row is just really easy. Where she has you just do the same stitch in one of them and then a single crochet. So you're not even having to learn a new border. You just alter the row that you're doing, the last row that you're doing. So that turned out very, very lovely. I like it more than I thought I did. And it's funny, there was a second yarn that I have up here that was similar in color with the yellows and the greens and the cream like that, but that had the added maroon. And I'm not sure where I bought this from. I think I bought it from a shop during a yarn crawl or something. So I decided, you know, if I'm going to do something that I want to take back to the maker, I chose this yarn over this one. So that'll sit up here for, another time. So we have this bird in the backyard that bomb dives the windows, the window over the sink, the side window, and the big main glass door window. And he's just crazy. He's bomb diving it. And I always want to take pictures or video and show people, look at this crazy bird he's doing. But all times of the day, whether you're in the kitchen or not, you know, here I am in the other room and I can hear it and see it and jump up to try to record it, and then he goes away. That sits out front that sits on the side view mirrors of the car and hits the passenger window and poops all over that side of the car. So we don't know what we're going to do to get rid of them. We've lived here for, 21 years or something and never had this problem. So what's going on? Okay, so the second shawl that I made out of this same pattern is made out of DK weight yarn. And I love the difference in the squishiness of, you're dealing with a fingering and you're like crocheting this shawlette and da-da-da-da-da. And then you pick up a DK weight and you're like, oosh, I love this, so squishy. So I was looking up in my DKs You know, my shelf goes higher than you can see, but there's another row of fingering up here. And then these are all still fingering. And then I had some sport weight here, which is only my aquamarine Leading Man Fiber Arts. That's the only sport I have left. With a weirdo addition of this one. This one is a DK slash sport. Have you ever seen that before? I don't know that I have. Is it a DK or is it a sport? So then these are the rest of my DKs. And then I've got my worsted weights down here. So I was looking in my DKs, and one of the yarns that I did buy recently, but it's not a maker that I can go back to, is this one here. Let me pull it up to you. This yarn was very fun to work with. Jada Wu Designs is her name. She was at Yarn.com, a store here, after she was doing like a pop-up or whatever. So here is her address. She's out of Washington, you see there. This colorway is called Fred Said. And there's the goodies on that. She's a really cute gal. And so that's like a little self-portrait label. And so anyway, the yarns that she had included this one with the tweed in it, little speckles or whatever. This one is a tweel fingering weight. So she's got these. And if you remember when I bought the yarn, I was telling about she had knitted a sweater out of this that was in the like a purple colorway, I think, like a magenta or purple colorway that was just gorgeous. So I'm like, okay, I got to touch a little bit of that. So I bought one skein of that. And then the day that I was in there, it's a teal is the colorway. The day that I was in Yarn.com, I had just come from donating platelets for the first time. So a lot of times when I buy yarn, I like to have a reason for which colorways or which weight I'm going for. Like I bought this one because I saw what she had finished with it. So this is another of the skeins that I bought from her that day. And this one is the same as the product that I'm about to show you, or the project that I'm about to show you. And this was called Cheery, not Cherry, but Cheery. And it was just a straight up solid red. There's no little specks. There's no tonals. Like it's a good, solid, good red. Because I had donated like blood, platelets. That's why I went with that red. So the finished project that is made in this colorway called Fred Said, I got to cover up that window. I think I need some sunshine and then it just blinds everything. So anyway, I'm going to restart. Don't know where I was. Yarn.com that day after donating platelets. So that's kind of like blood. So that's why I got the red one, because it's kind of like blood. And then platelets are, if you've ever donated, if you've ever seen platelets, it's an ugly brownish yellow color and it's not attractive for a yarn. And I don't know what I was thinking in trying to buy a yarn that would represent the platelets that I donated that day. Like I get a little cuckoo sometimes. So anyway, so this was what I decided to, because again, being at Yarn.com, I could have bought a whole, but you know, a whole store. I had a whole store at my disposal, but I really wanted to buy from this designer, this yarn maker, because she was here from Washington. So anyway, this is the finished project. I just had that little bit left. And on the DK weight, I went up to a 5.5 millimeter hook. I kind of initially thought that these two would go together, but they are both just brighter than bright, and that's just not me. So I went ahead and thought about using them separately then. Red can go with a whole lot of other stuff, but then so this yellow. Because this had some yellow in it, I would not have wanted to pick up another yellow yarn, but I wanted to work with a DK, and then that's what I had. So I thought this would be good for, you know, when you've got a yarn color that you're like, okay, now what am I going to do with it? And then you go, oh, I'm going to do this with it, and it makes you happy. So that is what you'll see here, again with the step ups like I show on the first one there, and it makes it so easy to block and have the beautiful, you know, scallop or tooths, whatever. You know, you can look at it a lot of different ways. So again, just kind of bring it all around. You can wear it a lot of different ways. You know, we've all seen these little asymmetrical shawls that you can wear a lot of different ways. So, yeah, if you're looking for a new yarn, if you haven't, you know, one that you haven't used before and you haven't seen this one before, I would suggest you you check her out. This tweel, it was really beautiful. I can't wait to find just the right pattern for it and make something out of that. So yeah, so that was my week of working on these little side shawls. You know, when they go so quickly, it makes me feel really, you know, it's easy for me to grab a second yarn and do up another one. So I can't wait to get farther on the one that I'm working on right now. I think it's going to be a full-size shawl. I think the way that it's growing, sometimes if they grow longer than they are growing wide, then it's not really easy to make it into a front shawl. So this one will definitely end up being like a full-size shawl, I believe. So, and again, just in case you didn't hear me in the first place, if you have any suggestions for about 550 yards of mercerized cotton in a DK in a variegated color like this, please let me know. I am dying to find a good pattern for that. So Midwest Fiber Fest is next weekend, and we have to plan to go back to Kansas City and pick up our RV that we had to leave behind when we went to Comic-Con. We were having some truck engine issues, and we decided to leave the fifth wheel behind and just come home without the extra drag on the engine. So it's being done in the shop, and I'd really hoped that we could get to it this weekend because Midwest Fiber Fest is next weekend, but we didn't. So now we have to next weekend. And you know, he's even talking, he's admitted it's my weekend, but we got to go get the trailer. So are we going to go down just Friday night, sleep over, and come home on Saturday? And then I'll still have Saturday afternoon maybe, or just on Sunday to go. Like, I don't know how that weekend is going to go. And I'm not going to say that I'm super stressed about it, because again, I mean, it's every year, so I don't want to miss it because I wait all year for it. But on the same regard, you know, sometimes personal stuff comes up and your plans have to change and yarn has to take a back seat. So keep your fingers crossed that everything is going to work out for that and I can get to the Midwest Fiber Fest and buy more yarn. All right, guys, I think that's all I got going on this week. I hope everybody's doing well. Have a wonderfully blessed day, and I hope you'll come back and see me again. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.